Hello, my friends, and welcome to a new episode of The Power of Surrender with Hugh, where every day we take a card from the Power of Surrender deck by Dr Judith Orloff. And basically, I chat with you every day, taking one card, hopefully giving you some inspiration and food for thought in these challenging times that we're living through. Now, the card that we have today is a very powerful card. And is a card of surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Now, the most common thing I think for most people is this, the belief that they're not good enough, they're not enough, that somehow they don't deserve good things to happen to them is one of the most common things. What it says on the card is, let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Limiting ideas that originate from the past. It could be something that your parents said to you or an old friend said to you. It's never going to come easy for you. Let's say that was a comment that somebody made, or you can't have it all. Or you'll never succeed at doing that. You're wasting your time. And these are ideas that can come from other people, that can also come from ourselves. Limiting beliefs that we have about ourselves, that we're not good enough, that we're not deserving of wonderful blessings and abundance in our life. And that can also be, speaking of abundance, it also can be this weird idea that somehow by having abundance that we're not a good person. This is just so many of these very strange ideas that we can convince ourselves are that and lock ourselves in a little mental prison with it. And so I think it's very important, the person that you were 4 or 5 years ago in that relationship, and the person that you are now as a free and single person, or the person you were when you were single and now you're in a relationship, we change all the time, so often. I think of myself just 2-3 years ago compared to now. Maybe I look the same to most people, but I feel so different. I feel like I see things differently. I feel like my level of awareness is entirely different. Very, very interesting. I'm sure you all have similar feelings, Now, as the card goes on, it then concludes by saying, it started by saying, as I said already, let go of limiting ideas about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar into your life. Because what happens is, with these outdated beliefs about ourselves, we get trapped in this prison of the past. This idea of who we were, this older person that we were. I don't mean old as in older, but I mean this person that we were back in the past. And so it's very, very powerful that we can literally create these prisons, these mental cages that hold us in position. Well, I'm never going to have that because this problem, that problem, this problem. I'm never going to have enough money, so therefore I can't have this, or I'm not, just these strange like I said, mental traps that we set for ourselves. If we let go of those all-limiting beliefs, what it literally does is it takes the shackles off, and then, as it says, allows you to be ready to soar, to be all that you can be in your life. One of the things that comes up when I think of this card is the idea of failure. And I think very differently about that word now. For me, failure is a word that just doesn't quite... The meaning of failure is like you screwed up, you're a mess, you're an idiot, all these different types of things. But the truth of the matter is that when something is a failure or doesn't work, these are the moments of greatest powerful learning for us, because we stop and go, okay, this really didn't go well. Why? And I don't want to experience this again. I remember a particular moment I had playing in a band. I'm not going to go into the details of it basically, but I remember this is a very pivotal moment as a musician in my career as a musician, and things did not go well. And I remember as clear as day having this absolute solid thought, I'm never going to do this again. Never going to put myself in this situation ever again. If and you know, when you get into it, I've done things myself by myself, and if things don't work out, then you only have yourself to blame. But there's nothing worse than when you're in a group endeavor, and when other parts of that group are not holding their weight in the agreement, and then things don't work out because of that. You have this awful feeling of putting everything into something, and I don't want to ever feel that again. But it was a tremendous moment of learning, and that's what quote unquote failure really is. If a relationship doesn't work it out, it may feel terrible at that moment, but it could actually be you dodging a bullet. It could be the universe saying, "Whoa, don't go that way." So this idea of, you know, something being a failure, we can get stuck in it, like, oh God, well, obviously I'm not meant to have a good relationship, or obviously I'm not meant to succeed as an artist, or whatever different things you can have when things go wrong. And I know that some of you might be saying, whoa, how is this connected? Well, it's connected because outdated beliefs about yourself. An outdated belief can be, well, I suck at relationships, or I suck at my career. And that's not the case. You learn from those experiences and you move forward. That particular trip that we took with a band I was playing in, for example, somebody wrote a review of the penultimate gig we were playing, and even though things didn't go well overall at that gig, the reviewer singled me out for praise in the review. And one of the people who was working with us, our publicist, our booking agent, also, like, openly in front of the other band members would constantly give me compliments. And why am I saying this to you? Because what those people recognized was my absolute 150% commitment to what I was doing. I was all in, and people can feel it, they can sense it, you know, and they could see not just what I was doing in that situation, but they could see the talent that I had and abilities that I had. And so even though that situation didn't work out, I still walked away with my head held high, saying I did everything that I possibly could. And of course, I can say this now because I have perspective. At the time, it felt like it was the end of the world. So these are just those moments where we can take those outdated beliefs and we can leave them behind, allowing us to move forward. Another one I'd tell you real quickly was, and I've mentioned this in a previous episode, this feeling when I was here of wanting to be back in America all the time. And then as a result, mentally, physically I'm here, mentally I'm somewhere else. And so it doesn't allow me to fully appreciate or be present in what's happening here. So when I finally did, you know, I would see the planes flying over work here, actually quite close to where I'm living right now, and I would like look at those planes wishing that I was on the plane going back to America. But I remember the day when I looked up at the planes and I didn't feel like that anymore, and I had changed my perspective. And then I looked at the plane, well, that's fine, I'll go back when I go back. I really like London. I have friends here, and I love this city, and I'm getting used to it, and and that little shift was part of like this. Hugh in America is Hugh in America, but now it's Hugh in London, and that Hugh that was back in Los Angeles is not the same Hugh that's right now. And even if I went back right now, this moment, to Los Angeles, people would immediately not recognize me as being in the same space that I was before. So again, it's just such a powerful thing. I hope you got some inspiration and got some food for thought here. Again, it's just leaving these outdated ideas that we have about ourselves and leaving them in the past. I'm going to read the card to you one more time before we go. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. And that it's important because it says limiting ideas. They're just ideas. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your own power and soar in your life. What a beautiful, very powerful card. My friends, I hope you enjoyed that. I know I enjoy doing this show. I will be back tomorrow for another episode. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Boom.